Do you have things in your home that you don't use until it's time to make a YouTube video? Let's get into the 5 things to say goodbye to that may also be causing you some stress. Keep in mind that these are just things that I'm getting rid of that I think are examples of these categories more broadly. What may not work for you may look entirely different. Let's get into the first category, impractical things that cost you additional work and maintenance. Do you have something that's not practical that you might be able to change to save some time in the long run? A few years ago, my husband Daniel and I bought our first pieces of nice luggage. We went on Amazon to go buy some clothes for our luggage. We had to put it through here. So this is what we were doing to our luggage every time to make sure it didn't get scratched. We didn't stop to think about how annoying it would be to put this on every piece of luggage before traveling, taking it off at our destination, and then putting it in the wash after we got back and putting it away. This is way too much time. Now we're just okay with our luggage getting scratched. It's meant to be used. That's what it's for. So we are saying goodbye to these. When my husband and I first moved into our house, we were starting with nothing except a few pieces that our family members gave to us. So we made some initial purchases without giving much thought to them. One of those purchases included multiple sets of these steak knives. You can see here that they have a wooden handle. You couldn't leave them in the sink for too long or else the wood would get pretty gross, and you couldn't put them in the dishwasher. So these knives were really impractical. Then at some point we thought we would invest in some really nice quality steak knives, but after doing research on those, most of them were not dishwasher safe. So we ended up going with this set of 8 Henkel's knives. I think they look pretty good, but most importantly, they're dishwasher safe. So it's been so nice to have something that's easier to take care of. They've also worked really well. We ended up getting rid of most of the wooden handle ones. We did keep a few because we have a big family, and so when we have everyone over, it's nice that everyone has a steak knife. These were also bulky and take up a lot more storage space than the thin ones that we got from Henkel's. These glitter ornaments have been tough to get rid of. I've had them since we first moved into our house when they were part of a set that my mom gifted to me. I'm keeping the non-glitter ones, but I'm getting rid of all of our glitter ornaments. It's been a chore cleaning up the glitter after every Christmas, and I'm really excited to not have to do that anymore. So it'll be nice to get the time back from cleaning up that glitter. The next category are things I just got wrong. What's a purchase that when you look at it, you're just like, why did I buy that? This is that for me. I thought it would be a good idea to buy this handheld sewing machine before I bought my regular sewing machine. It's pretty loud. It's really hard to get anything under it. Ugh. I couldn't really get the hang of this thing. I've had it for at least a year. I haven't gotten any use out of it, so this is going to find a new home. I was really bummed about this one specifically because I missed the return window. So this is a reminder to myself and to anyone else who needs it to set a reminder to not miss any return windows. This would have been an easy return on Amazon, and instead I wasted this money. Lesson learned, time to find it a new home and see if someone else can get some use out of it. That's his favorite. I learned from Jackson Galaxy's YouTube channel that cats can like scratching in different ways. Some are vertical scratchers, some are horizontal scratchers, and some can be diagonal scratchers. We got Ollie when he was really young, and it was important for us to find the right scratching post that worked for him to prevent him from scratching the furniture as much as possible. He ended up liking the one that belonged to our previous cat who passed away. We got him the smaller vertical one new at Home Goods, and he did not like it. Look at the difference between this one that he didn't use and this one and how it's been used. We gave this one a shot for about a year and he didn't use it, so we're letting it go.
He does like this other scratching post too, and we think it's because it's a lot sturdier than that smaller one.
I got him these little minnows. Let's give him one. Suki and Ollie both get spoiled with these little minnows. This is the very first throw blanket that I bought when we first moved into our house. I can't find the tag, but it feels like it's either acrylic or polyester. Over time, it's easily snagged. It's snagged in a lot of places throughout, and it just hasn't been something we've reached for. We haven't used this in years. And now I like to go for throw blankets in natural fibers, like cotton, wool, or cashmere. This is not something I'll be able to get much for if I resell, but things like my nice quality wool blankets, those I can resell and get a bigger portion of my money back, especially if I bought it secondhand. I bought this beautiful wool blanket. I bought this secondhand for $40. I could definitely sell this for the same amount amount and get my money back if I ever wanted to switch up my decor. The next category are things that no longer serve your lifestyle. We change and our needs change over time. What we once needed, we may not need anymore. Just like people, there are things that don't end up working for our pets. We adopted Suki from the SPCA. A shout out to all the volunteers and the staff there. Suki was 1.5 years when we got her. I spent so much time watching dog training YouTube videos when we first got her. We worked together to learn all these things, so we thought it would be a fun idea to hire a trainer that could help us with more advanced obedience training and to try to find a dog sport that could be a good fit. Long story short, we thought that she might enjoy bite work. Bite work is something that you see a lot of police dogs do. A lot of times you see someone wearing a suit and then the dog biting its arm. She was a very energetic dog and we thought it's something she would like, and she did not like it. This was part of a set of 3 that was $100. We play tug with the smaller ones in the set, but this one was always too big for her, so we're getting rid of this one. So this one is basically brand new. This other fancy tug toy, this tug toy that we used for her training. So we're saying goodbye to all the bite work related toys that she did not end up liking. We have a new dog in the family, so I'm really excited to see if he enjoys playing with these. I think he's gonna be bigger than Suki, so hopefully he'll be able to enjoy these and get some use out of them. Just about everything we used in our wedding was secondhand. That included these little glass mugs. I bought all of our dishware and cutlery from someone closing their catering company. So after our wedding 6 years ago, we sold all of them except these few. The next category are items past their lifespan. I have had this thing for probably about 20 years and I don't remember the last time I used it. I think I've held on to this because it feels like nice quality. I would put this in the category of something past its life. It doesn't really cover my whole head. You can see here, it won't stay put, even if I have a hair tie. So, as pretty as this shower cap is, it's been hard to use because it doesn't cover my entire head and the elastic has been stretched out too much, so it doesn't really stay put. I'm saying goodbye to it. Right now, I'm also getting rid of things that are stained and damaged in ways that I can't fix. I tried so hard to remove this stain off of this shirt and I wasn't able to. Instead of tossing it, I'm going to cut it up so that I have some extra rags to clean. Sometimes I need to apply harsh chemicals when I'm cleaning the car or when I'm buffing something out. During those times, it's really helpful to have cut up pieces of cotton t-shirts. I like to have a dedicated place for dead batteries and for dead bulbs. These are all things I need to go recycle. Check your local hardware store to see if they collect bulbs or batteries. I believe I've seen some Target locations accept small electronics, and I think that I've also seen Home Depot takes in different light bulbs. I recommend calling your garbage company to see if they offer any recycling services that you might not be aware of. In my case, they've recycled dead batteries for me before. Speaking of light bulbs, while you're at it, replace that dead light bulb that you have in the closet. I go through Suki's toys to throw away any that are broken or toys that have missing pieces, like this toy that came with a few squirrels that she would have to take out of the case. She eventually broke all the little squirrels. When donating incomplete items, I do my best to include some information so that the donation center or buyer knows what they are getting. Here you could see that I included where someone could buy more squirrels. I also included the price. I have plenty of Vosses. I'm letting go of this chipped one. Right now is also a good time to make sure nothing in your pantry is expired. I like to move anything that's about to expire to the front. My husband is an amazing home cook. He also is really thoughtful about taking anything out that's about to expire and putting it on the kitchen counter so that we make something with it before it goes bad. The next category is free stuff you don't need. Sometimes you just have to say no. Somehow my parents ended up with 2 of these leg rests. As you can see here, it is pretty big. So this thing has been moving from closet to closet, being unused for the last couple of years. This is one of those things that we kept as a just in case someone gets hurt and needs to put their legs up. So this is leaving the house. Before YouTube, I had a corporate job where I got some free things. I ended up with several company mugs, t-shirts, tote bags that I haven't really used. So my husband and I have a rule now where we don't accept things for free unless it's really something we're going to use. We don't need more tote bags and we don't need more mugs. As much as we enjoy the thrill of a freebie and the thrill of a deal, we've really learned the importance of restraint so that we don't end up with stuff we just don't use. If you're like me and you've been holding on to all of your takeout utensils for a just-in-case moment, you have a lot of people over and you need them all, now's the time to get rid of them. I personally am going to make sure I find a place where these will get used rather than taking them to a thrift store where they might end up being recycled or thrown in the garbage. I ended up keeping a box with a few, and I also put a couple in the car to have just in case. I also put some of the napkins I got from takeout into the car. It's really helpful to have the napkins in the car. I like to get rid of things as I realize I don't need them anymore. That way I don't find myself wondering how I have so much stuff that I don't use. With that said, with the busyness of life or with the season of life that you're in, sometimes you just might find yourself with more. Every year I like to put an empty box near the front door. That way for a week or two, I'm just really mindful about things throughout the house that we haven't used for some time. I like to categorize things I'm getting rid of: donate, sell, upcycle, recycle, or toss. If you're really into thinking about organization systems that can help you in your household, I highly recommend this book called Simply Spaced. It has some really helpful tips for going room by room. It's been one of those books that I go back to every now and then to reference. Holding on to stuff that doesn't work out for one reason or another can be a source of anxiety for me. Items can be a physical reminder of wasted money and time. They can also be a source of visual clutter and create a more chaotic environment. I do my best to reduce waste and to be intentional about my purchases, but sometimes I just don't get it right, or it's time to let something go. Scan your spaces. Is there something that's just been sitting there unused that you might be able to sell on Facebook Marketplace and get some money back? Or just donate and get out of your house? These are just some of the things that I'm letting go of. Is there something that you're getting rid of that I didn't mention? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all at the next one. Hey.